Forrest loves to fly. He loves to fly. He loves to try to fly like a bird. He is a bird. He's Forrest Bird. There's Forrest Gump and there's Forrest Bird. But Forrest, his number one love is flying.
There are lots of inventors, and what makes Dr. Bird unique is that it went far beyond developing an enabling device. He really developed a way in which we could address a problem on a worldwide basis, and developed the strategy to take the benefit that he had first of all discovered for his wife and make this applicable to children throughout the United States, and then adults as well, and eventually was able to apply that technology to work in a variety of, work in neonatal intensive care units, to work for adult intensive care, work on battlefields, work in the space station.
I think he is truly one of the national heroes of America. I put him up with all the other inventors and doctors and aviators and entrepreneurs because he's the one that's made a difference, not just by saving lives, but making an actual imprint on the way we live and the different changes of technology, because he led the foundation for a lot of modern day medicine.
With the invention of the respirator, it outdates another product and a new industry is started, but I'm sure at that time he didn't realize the impact. And he probably will never realize the impact of the lives that were saved and the emotions by all the people and the emotions of the parents when a newborn is saved, with the baby bird and the technology.
What was always impressive about Forrest is the way that he's always been a fabulous teacher, and the fact that he could have at any time sat back and enjoyed the fruits of his success, but he's always been available. I mean, there have been times when Forrest has, he on the roof of the Bird Air Lodge is a satellite way before they did webinars, so that he would be able to conduct seminars for physicians all over the world.
When physicians call and they're working on a patient and they're concerned, and it's a live or die situation, so Forrest will sit and talk with them on the phone, work and walk them through the usage of the machine.
Certainly, he had a very solid grounding in physics and a very solid grounding in physiology, but he was also a very, very bright person. And I think that's really what makes a difference. This feeling of being able to make things change. I mean, he's a visionary.
He gives you a lot of confidence. I mean, there's things I probably would have never done if it wasn't for him. I don't mind jumping into something and trying to figure it out now, which I probably wouldn't have before, and it's on account of him.
We have busloads of students come all the time, daily, all summer even. And for children to see what inventors do and what the world's about is quite something.
He tells children, if you're inventing something, you're looking for a solution to a problem here. Don't look out here or out here for it. That solution's somewhere around that center. Just keep working at it and don't quit.
The biggest thing that I see every day is when the students come to the museum here. We do the scavenger hunts and the tours, and he's inspiring. It's not just because the museum, but he comes and sits and talks with the children, and he inspires them because he is an inventor, and he tells them that you can do it. Just reach for the stars and you can do it. If you think of something, write it down, draw it, because you never know what can become of it.
A number of years before we ever started it, he was talking that someday he'd like to have a museum. And he talked about that, brought it up off now and then for a number of years, and then it finally came reality. And it's been a great asset to the community, I think.
Each individual person has a limited amount of resources and funds, but instead of spending that money on something else, it's spent for humanity, because that's our hope. are the children and the people who pass through those portals, and the education and the experience that they bring and that they share.
He just wants to make the world a better place, and I think why he opened up the museum where we're sitting, and that's the backdrop today, it was so he can educate children for the math and the sciences and technology and inspire entrepreneurship and that little light bulb in all of us. And I just think his vision is he wants it a better place because he lived through the Depression, and yes, our economy is not so great right now, but we're going to get through it.
I think his family is the world. His family is those he has helped, can help, and will help, which is a little bit different. The family might not be the traditional one because of the number of people he takes under his strong wings, and that might be some of the volunteers at the museum, or some of the kids at Camp Invention, or the children that he mentors, and he treats them like his grandchildren. I think Forrest has made a difference in the heart-lung respiratory industry as Wozniak and Jobs have in the computer industry, and also Bill Gates. Because it's not just the creation of a job. See, yes, inventors create jobs, but take it up 10 steps. Inventors create industries.
I'm very privileged to know him and have the opportunity of talking about the technology side of it, but there's a whole human side of working with him. I just know that he's enormously respected by the people that he works with, whether they are on his staff or whether they people who come along. People come here very frequently. It is a constant classroom atmosphere here with different groups coming through from hospitals all over the country.
His respirators, through constant development and making a better one, has saved thousands of lives and enhanced lives of people with emphysema and one thing or another. And I have people come to me and tell me how much better quality of life they've had through his respirators. And he's a workaholic. He just never quits making them better.
I think he is enormous. He's my mentor. He's my example. And I'm honestly, I am so honored to have the opportunity to do what I'm busy to do with him. It's above all of these things.
The essence of the man who Forrest is, nobody works for Forrest. People work with him. He works with people. The endearment in his heart is that we're a team, and we're on earth, we're all together for a purpose. So it's not the macho man who thinks of himself as this great person. That's not who he is. He is the simplest person with the most incredible mind and a heart that is bigger than all the stars combined.
Well, he's been a gift to America and the world. He's really given of himself, and that's what it's all about.
I'd like to introduce to you Dr. Forrest Morton Bird to the Idaho Technology Council's Hall of Fame. Dr. Bird, you are an aviator, innovator, physician, pioneer, inventor, and educator. We welcome you. We thank you for your contributions that you have made not only to the great state of Idaho, but to the world.